All right, everybody. I wanted to show you all this. As you see, the blue light, as you saw the other video, I just wanted to do this a proper video for this. Now then, if you go to your app store and you look up Comfort View, what that will do is basically take away that bluish hue that you're seeing, and it would basically give you the yellow hue, which is what you want, so you're not being programmed. Now then, some phones have this in their settings. Some of them have it in. Now, as you see, I got the blue. You see, I got that one right there, that blue light filter. That's what you definitely want, something like that. You can either get that one, or any one of them, as long as it's switching the hue from blue to yellow, and you'll be fine. I also wear glasses with the yellow tint on them. These are also laser glasses, so they work very well. Now, apparently, that's such a big thing because I could have sworn that when I uploaded the video, I had a part of it where I was basically showing people the functionality in their settings, but it's not there. Now I know what this was that was an edited footage, so maybe it had to been the original one, so they had to make a swap. I don't know. I didn't get a notification about it, but in any case, it's something that still needs to be shown to everybody. So if you're wondering, this is how, when it comes to your devices, you can basically just use this to swap it out from the blue, to the yellow. And that's important because that phone you're using is basically beaming out a blue hue, and you don't want that. So, with that done, oh, also, I probably should go over the other thing that happened. I did do a video about this earlier, but I didn't mention. So, I'm just going to go into detail about this, right? On the story of this situation in my family and what happened today. Now then, um, when the first thing that happened, like when this whole targeting thing got to the point to where I just couldn't take it anymore. I was being psyoped by FBI left and right. There was a bunch of dark looking cars with blue lights all over the place, yada yada yada. I ended up calling my aunt, letting them know about it. I called my cousin about it, told them what was happening. Now my cousin came and picked me up. He was playing. He was actually acting like a damn perp the entire time. He kept doing the whole "oh no, you're just paranoid" thing. Kept doing that. Um, it got very odd. He even ended up going straight to a restaurant talking about something. Do you want something to eat or whatever, right? Now, remember what I told T.I.S. never to go to, eat at fast food. I believe they did probably lace that food. Who knows? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. However, as that is happening, the whole psyop is just taking place. Is saying, man, you're just being paranoid. You're just being paranoid. And the entire time, I am being gaslighted in front of him. So he's involved with them, by the way, so I don't trust him anymore. Now I'll go over to my aunt's place, and what just so happens to happen? Oh, this is what happens. They ended up telling me, you could just sleep right here, but just sleep on this side only of the bed that they laid out. And then they just so happened to, by the way, they turned the tower on in that location. They did. They really did. Um, so I ended up getting hit with these weapons the entire time while I was sleeping there, and by the grace of God, the Most High, I found the app called N8 State. Okay, I found that. Now, on top of that, I was able to use that to defend myself for a bit, not very much so, but now the morning comes. Now they're handing me two pieces of now even before the morning happens, I'm handed true boxers and a shirt. Now, as you all saw some of the documents shown in the articles that there are nanofibers laced into clothing. Now, those pieces of underwear had a patch, a synthetic looking patch, and it was literally located right where the bottom of my spinal cord would be at. Very suspicious, right? After hearing that first video, right? It's very suspicious, right? So there's the underwear, and then they tried, they gave me a shirt, and they tried to hand me a pair of slippers. People, they usually lace these things they either had the nanofibers patched into the fabric, or they just have it laced. They had the most likely that bedding sprayed down as well, most likely. Now morning comes, and my aunt is telling me, well, like, okay, when you go home, what are you gonna do? Now here's the thing, everybody, this is uh this is like shortly after when I had got assaulted. Not too, literally just a couple of days after I got assaulted, and I started like the whole weapon system that they were using. It was getting very out of hand, and I was, starting to lose control a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. And I was able to break out of it. They weren't happy about that. So the next day strolls by, and that's actually the day when they ran that psyop with me with the FBI. So anyway, not trying to get off a track, but back to the morning. My aunt ends up asking me, "Well, what are you gonna do? Go straight home or whatever." She keeps telling me to go get a haircut, go get a haircut, go get a haircut, right? Just to get my haircut. A lot of people don't realize that that stuff grows along the lines of your hair, so you really gotta wash your hair when that happens. And also, I believe it provides like some sort of protection, from the energy weapons. Now, here's the thing. Now, my cousin, now mods, I'm basically telling them I'm going to get a security system installed in my apartment, right? Because I was suspecting, well, maybe somebody was obviously coming in here who had no business coming in here. So, with that said, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just get that done. She's going like, no, if you do that, then I'm gonna have to basically put you in a institution, right? An institution. So, I ended up, trying to say, nah, I need to really get that security system. Everybody needs to get a security system if they have an apartment just to be safe. And it's just wrong to basically assume somebody is, just calling them, you know, insane, schizophrenic, paranoid, anything like that. And that's a common trait that these perps use is paranoia. They always use that tactic all the time. Let me tell you something, if I hear someone say that to me and while the evidence is being shown, that person, no, that doesn't work at that point. At that point, you basically proven yourself to be paid opposition or you were just threatened to basically play the role as opposition, which is controlled opposition. That's all there is, and that's all there is to be said about it. You either on board to basically fight against this, or you're just allowing yourself to be assimilated into the corruption. If you want to know if my family is watching this right now, I want you to look up the Kanika Jenkins case. And there's a video. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description of this video, so because I know they're gonna watch the channel, but I want them to see that and see the dangers as to what happened when they allowed this to happen. And to give you a rundown of the situation, basically, she was a targeted individual. She wasn't speaking out about it as much, and this is why I highly advise TIs to definitely speak out because they will set you up. And just as well as they tried to do that with me, it didn't work. They tried it again today, too. It didn't work. In fact, lucky for me, I got a whole lot of evidence in one single day. I didn't even have to walk outside to get it. And I gotta say, I am one happy fucking camper right now. And this is the obvious evidence they can't discredit. I've already got to give you the rundown. I'm not gonna say, anything about. I'm not gonna say, you know what? No, 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 no. I can't really go into that because it's got to be something, involved with the courts. It's got to be involved with the courts. But yeah, I definitely got evidence of something that they pulled, and I wasn't playing their skeptical today. So anyway, my aunt basically tells me, you can't go and get a security system. She's constantly convincing me not to get a security system involved, and I'm like, isn't that kind of odd? Like, I mean, like, why do you not want me to get a security system installed so badly, right? So I ended up going with my cousin. She tells him to take me to a barber shop. Remember that she says a barber shop, right? He doesn't take me to a barber shop. He takes me to a stranger's house, who he says is a barber. The entire time we are there, I am being gaslighted. The guy is coming in and out of his house dressed in red, everybody. He's coming in and out, dressed in red. And my cousin's just sitting there talking about some, man, why are you being paranoid? Why are you being paranoid, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the two main suspect in Kanika Jenkins' murder was wearing red, and the other guy was wearing blue. These are the same colors that I am being gaslighted with. I have evidence of this to prove it. You don't believe me? Check out my channel. The proof is there. It's there for you to see. It's right there. It's just a click away. You can even check my guide channel. Same thing. The evidence is there. And honestly, to tell you the truth, when I said that they were going to get desperate, I was not joking. So he takes me to a stranger's house. So I ended up asking him, let's get out of here. No, I don't want to be here, because there was a effed up neighborhood. Very sketchy neighborhood too, like the ghetto, right? Something like that. So he eventually takes me from there, and then he drives me over to, now mind you, he passed a couple of barbershops even before going to that guy's house, right? So what we ended up doing is basically going to a barbershop. I asked him, can you just take me to a barbershop at a Walmart? He going, no, no, no. He takes me to a specific one. Okay, he takes me to a specific one. Mind you, before this is happening, these weapons are still being used on me. So before that, I ended up going before we even made it to the guy's house, I ended up going to the local Walgreens by my aunt's place, and I went and got some snacks. And I ended up leaving my phone in there. Oh, that reminds me. The same time I was handed those clothes, right? Now, they handed me I had to charge my phone, so they ended up handing me a charger. Now, a fellow TI, this guy, he actually specializes in computer technology. So he really knows his specs. I ended up describing to him, what they had handed me to use to charge my phone, and that device that was handed to me was basically a device that was uploading hackware to that device. That's why you saw all those hacked attempts for that other device. If you need evidence of that, it's on my guide channel. It's all on there. It's dated. It's timed. Even if YouTube was to change the date on the actual recording, this is why I highly recommend people to use the screen recorder, because even if they, change the date of when that video was uploaded, they can't change the date that was, of the recording. They can't. So then, we ended up leaving from that guy's house, and he ends up taking me to the what is that? This other barbershop, right? Now it was like a salon place slash barbershop. The fact that it's some type of salon. Now the reason why I wanted to go to the salon, because I didn't want my hair cut. I just wanted it trimmed. They wanted my entire hair cut. Okay, that's what they wanted. Why? Because if you're not aware, my work badge ID was similar to me basically looking like that with my hair cut. This is how that stuff is related to my job, because apparently there was people who were at my job who were also gaslighting me. Well, my old job. Now, as they were gaslighting me, right? They had two people waiting at the corner for me, but they ended up saying, I believe that like this was just another scare tactic that they do. Don't pay no mind to people like that. Don't. Remember, it's just a psyop. So what ends up happening is that he takes me to this barbershop where you have to put in your credentials, right? Your actual information. By the way, there will be an extra copy of this. So if I find out that any of my videos are altered in any way, I will have evidence of that too. Just saying. Everything, let me make it very clear. Everything that they do will be documented. Everything. There's no discrediting out of it. There's no lying your way out of it, because the evidence is clear, is crystal. This is why, TIs, it is important for us to get the public to see this. Because the police officers, the judges, the lawyers, they're going to lie. But it's not to say that there aren't any lawyers and stuff like that out there who are not on our side. There probably are, but there are very few. Very few. Now, along with all of that, now we ended up leaving, right? I ended up getting dropped off. Man, everybody, today, just today, not too a while ago, I told my cousin. The first person I told about all the stuff I was finding out was my cousin, right? So I started as soon as I started finding out, oh, I know where these bastards are coming from now, right? So I'll go ahead and let her know about what's happening, right? And just today, I've been left the link, so she saw the evidence. It was all there. So today, apparently, I accidentally called her number. Didn't mean to, but she ends up calling me back, and she is actually trying to discredit me on the phone. So as soon as I started I'm like, are they threatening you? She just doesn't answer the question. I asked it 3 times. Are they threatening you? Because it wouldn't be the first time they went after my family, right? So I decided to go ahead and bring up some key elements that actually that did happen. And as soon as it came to that, oh, just hang up the phone, hang up the phone, hang up the phone. So she ended up saying, oh, I gotta go. I want my family to understand I don't hate you. I love you regardless of this stuff that you're doing. And I'm not gonna let them drive me to hate you. Okay? It's not gonna happen. But even with that said, I cannot trust you at this point. I tried to basically come forward with this now that I found out exactly who is responsible for all of this. And by the way, if you want to know, now this is just what I was told. The owner of this building is supposed to be Jimmy Swaggart. As I was documenting my evidence, there were people who were telling me that Jimmy Swaggart is a crooked son of a bitch. So, everybody knows who owns this building now. Remember, Jimmy Swaggart owns this building. The same building I live in, the same building where all this evidence shows all of these towers and all of this illegal activity happening. That is, oh, I don't know, accessing my data illegally, adding extra towers out there that are not licensed, and I didn't give any consent to it, not that I know of any kind. And even more so, there are 2 different towers which are actually, and you can see the evidence of this, beaming and streaming radiation through this unit. Of all places, is streaming. And to make it even more of a coincidence, the fact that this apartment complex, the building that they gave me, this particular apartment room is not in front of another room. There's nothing but a window in front of this apartment room. Nothing but a window in the elevators. That's it. So they wanted to keep me out of anybody else's way as they're streaming this energy through this apartment. I hope everybody's understanding that. Mind you, the exact same day that I moved in here, they sent 2 goons up the elevator. And it was one of them goes like, oh, she said that's where he lives. That's where he lives. Another psyop tactic. So I'm making this message to basically inform people that, basically that blue light, as you saw in the last video, that's technically programming you. And if you want to basically swap that out with an actual yellow light, just go ahead and download one of these apps right here. All you got to do is go to your local app store. And even if you have iPhone, I'm pretty certain it does the same thing. Now, some phones do come with this functionality. I did showcase that in a video, but it mysteriously disappeared. Now, to prove that, now if you were to watch this, it's not gonna show on there, but just so you know, and I will play this because this may also be very well a psyop.
Hello. But the ones that you can, when you buy these lasers on eBay or online, you buy the yellow, if you got a blue.
3324, as you see, he still shows. I had edited my footage at the end of that video, and I even I don't claim any copyright for this. I don't. But the fact that that little bit of footage is missing off of that, yeah, someone edited that. Someone definitely edited that, without a doubt. So anyway, it is 3:34 p.m. Wednesday, July 1st. Let's see what happens with this footage. And yes, I will do more documentation.